the time will not give value to that of non-renal clearance. So is it 100% adequately we adjust the dosage only by considering the creatinine clearance? Answer is no, because any particular agent can have this non-renal clearance also, that we need to consider. It may get affected very badly, means non-renal clearance may not happen because of the organ dysfunction, or it may happen in a normal way also. So that we need to consider when you adjust the dosage among critically ill patients. Okay, so the renal clearance equation, the effective clearance depends upon the urine concentration of that agent, okay, that antibiotic, and that of the urine volume, and that of the plasma concentration. So basically these three important factor having an impact on the effective clearance. So our understanding is, so clearance is both renal and that of the non-renal. Clearance depends upon cardiac output, protein binding, extracorporeal circulation, end organ damage, which I already told. Okay, so it is not so easy to understand just based on the measurement of creatinine value. Okay, so this patient requires this much of antibiotic. It may not be sufficient calculation at the bedside, because it is having lots of factor impacted on the clearance itself. Okay, we learned about the volume of distribution, okay, solubility impact, and the clearance. Okay, so again, the problem is when a patient present with sepsis, okay, sepsis itself can have different stages of manifestation. I told if the patient is in the early phase, so he is going to have an increasing cardiac output. Okay, when there is increasing cardiac output, obviously increasing clearance, available plasma concentration is going to be low. So when a patient is going to have a leaky capillaries or altered protein binding, there might be increased volume of distribution. Again, the plasma concentration available is going to be low. If the patient had a normal organ function, unchanged volume of distribution, normal plasma concentration. If the patient already had end organ dysfunction, late phase of sepsis, okay, is going to have a decreased clearance. So then obviously his plasma concentration is going to be high. So basically, it's not only the volume of distribution, not only the clearance, not only the solubility, the disease status, on which stage the patient with the sepsis is going to present to the ICU, also have an impact on the available plasma concentration of the drug. Again, it is not so simple. Not so simple, just seeing on the prescription of that particular antibiotic based on the creatinine clearance to adjust the dosage. Very, very important. You need to remember. Again, if the patient had full-fledged multi-organ dysfunction, it is having an impact on the pharmacokinetics of the antibiotic. Particularly, if the patient is having GI dysfunction, we are giving the antibiotic orally, particularly clindamycin, linezolid, metronidazole, okay, minocycline, all these things we can give orally also. So decrease in absorption of enterally administered agent. So basically it may lead to underdosing because there is no absorption at all. Suppose tissue hypoperfusion. So when there is a severe shock, there is going to be a tissue hypoperfusion. So decreased antibiotic tissue concentration, again that leads to underdosing. If the patient is going to have a hepatic dysfunction, so decrease in protein binding of highly bound drugs, again that leads to underdosage. So decreased hepatic metabolism, particularly I told lipophilic agents are going to cleared in the liver, that lead to, whenever there is no adequate metabolism, that leads to overdosage. So if the patient is having an established renal dysfunction, so decreased elimination of hydrophilic agent. Okay, so kidney hydrophilic, liver lipophilic. Okay, so that again lead to overdosing. Different stages of the sepsis, so different organ dysfunction, volume of distribution, solubility, renal and non-renal clearance, all these things are having an impact on the available concentration of the particular antibiotic, okay, in a particular patient, that we call it as a changes in the pharmacokinetics. Okay, so basically, so innate character of antibiotic and its impact on the dosage. So antibiotic itself is having its own characteristic, again, which have an impact on the pharmacokinetics and pharmacodynamics. We know that there are some antibiotic which are concentration dependent, particularly amino glycoside. We need to administer them as a high board dosage, okay, so that we call it as a 10 milligram per kg. Okay, so 10 milligram per kg, 1 milligram per kg, 1 milligram per kg, 1 milligram per kg. So 10 milligram per kg, 1 milligram per kg, 1 milligram per kg. So 10 milligram per kg, 1 milligram per kg, 1 milligram per kg. So 10 milligram per kg, 1 milligram per kg, 1 milligram per kg. So 10 milligram per kg, 1 milligram per kg, 1 milligram per kg. So 10 milligram per kg, 1 milligram per kg, 1 milligram per kg. So 10 milligram per kg, 1 milligram per kg, 1 milligram per kg. So 10 milligram per kg, 1 milligram per kg, 1 milligram per kg. So 10 milligram per kg, 1 milligram per kg, 1 milligram per kg. So 10 milligram per kg, 1 milligram per kg, 1 milligram per kg. So 10 milligram per kg, 1 milligram per kg, 1 milligram per kg. So 10 milligram per kg, 1 milligram per kg, 1 milligram per kg. So plus dosage with an increase in interval of administration. Okay, suppose if you not adhere to this protocol,